Hello friends, this week I'm back with you again to talk about part 2 of the Incarnation. What does the Incarnation mean for you and for me? Notice what the Apostle Paul tells us in 2 Corinthians 5:14-15. 2 Corinthians 5:14-15. For Christ's love compels us, because we are convinced that one, Jesus, died for all, therefore all died. And he died for all, that those who live should no longer live for themselves, but for him who died for them and was raised again. Jesus died for all. Jesus died for everyone, not just a few. He died for all, and therefore all died. We've all died with Jesus. We've died with him. That's what the Apostle Paul tells us. Now, Colossians 2:13. Apostle Paul writing to the Colossians, when you were dead in your transgressions and the uncircumcision of your flesh, he made you alive together with him, having forgiven us all our transgressions. When you were dead in your transgressions. When you were dead, he made you alive. When you were dead. So we died with him. We've already read. We've all died. When Christ died, we've all died. But now we read that when we were dead in our transgressions, he made us alive together with him. So when Christ died, we all died. But when Christ was raised from the dead, we were all raised with him, even though we were dead in our transgressions. It has nothing to do with us. It's what God has done in Christ Jesus. Ephesians 2:5-6. Even when we were dead in our transgressions, made us alive together in Christ. By grace you have been saved, and raised us up with him, and seated us with him in the heavenly places in Christ Jesus. Even when we were dead in our transgressions. See, God didn't take our sins to account. He didn't account our sins. He didn't count up all our sins and say, you're not worthy. But no, when we were dead, he made us alive. We died with him, and we were raised with him. And we're seated with him in the heavenly places in Christ Jesus. Colossians 3:3. For you died, and your life is now hidden with Christ in God. For you died, there it is again, you died, and your life is now hidden with Christ in God. The only life that's recognizable right now, unless we're living a lie, yes, we can live a lie, but the only life that's real is the life that we have in Christ. It's hidden in Christ. It's the only life that's recognizable, is the life that we've been given in Christ. Verse 4, Colossians 3, verse 4. When Christ, who is your life, there it is, he is your life. When Christ, who is your life, is revealed, then you also will be revealed with him in glory. You will be revealed with him in glory. Christ is our life. God didn't send Jesus into the world. Jesus didn't come so that he can help us live a better life. No, we already died with him. We were raised with him. We're seated with him in the heavenly places in Christ Jesus. He is our very life. He is our very life. 2 Corinthians 5:16-19. The Apostle Paul writes again. This is the Apostle Paul. This isn't Brother Joe speaking. This is the Apostle Paul. Therefore, from now on, we recognize no one according to the flesh. Even though we have known Christ according to the flesh, yet now we know him in this way no longer. Therefore, if anyone's in Christ, he's a new creature. The old things passed away. Behold, new things have come. Now all these things are from God, who reconciled us to himself through Christ and gave us the ministry of reconciliation, namely that God was in Christ reconciling the world to himself, not counting their trespasses against us, and he has committed to us the word of reconciliation. Brothers and sisters, We recognize no one according to the flesh. We've been given a new life. We've been made new by what God has done in Christ Jesus. We're new creation. We're new creation. We're new creation, new creatures in Christ Jesus. We've been made brand new. Colossians 2:11 now. And it's what God has done in Christ. For in him you were also circumcised, not with the circumcision done by the hands of men, but with the circumcision done by Christ. In other words, it's not our doing. It's what God has done. And man cannot do what God has done. God has finished it in Christ. He's circumcised us. He's given us a new life, we are new creation. We are a new creation in Christ Jesus. As I've said, the only life that we have, the only life that's recognizable, unless we're living a lie, that's the only life that we have. It's the life that we've been given in Christ. Now, Colossians 3:11, where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcised nor uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, slave nor free, but Christ is all and is in all. All is everyone. All is every human being that's ever lived. Christ is all and is in all. It's not a select few. It's everyone. And to the Ephesians, he says the same thing. One God, Ephesians 4 verse 6, one God and Father of all. Is God the Father of all? Yes. He's the Father of all, who's over all, through all, and in all. All is everyone. All is everyone. He's the Father of all, he's over all, he's through all, and he's in all. All is everyone. Because of what God has done in Christ Jesus, in the Incarnation, we cannot separate the Incarnation from the atonement or the other work, because it's all one in Christ. We died with him. We've been raised with him. We're seated with him in the heavenly places in Christ Jesus. We are a new creation in Christ Jesus. Brothers and sisters, friends, we've been called now to live in the reality of this new life, what God has done in Christ Jesus. This is what the Incarnation is all about.